and I were in agreement. Like neither of us are resolution people, but we're trying to read more. So we each gave each other a book.
I got it.
So we're trying to read.
What did you read?
He gave me one. I can't remember the name.
See, you've already given up.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Joe.
Sorry, Joe.
And then I gave Joe a book of essays.
Did you?
So we will reconvene after we read them. But in general, I try to just challenge myself to be a better person.
Well, this week was designed to be a discussion about health, wellness,
and also keeping your resolutions.
Right? And we have the great and powerful Wende Beggs Jones, who owns Fresh and Fit. Now, wait a minute. I'm thinking, Wendy, it was originally in Ingram. Is it still in Ingram or is it in Kerrville now? Oh.
It's in that 1 mile.
You're in between.
You're in between, right?
Yes.
Wendy's here, and it's a family business. You've got your daughter is really involved with this now, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of nice to probably have. You guys are partners basically in some ways, I guess, on this.
Yeah, we're having so much fun. She's doing the tumbling. She reopened my former business, Empowered, so she's coaching tumbling. Little
okay.
ones.
All right.
But she also just turned 18, which means I get to be completely full circle and certify my own daughter to be a trainer.
That's
very
nice.
Cool.
That's very good. That's very good. But the thing I love about Fresh and Fit, and this is why I wanted to have Wendy on, like she was the first person I reached out to, was that it's not just fitness for you. It's also the nutritional part of this as well. Oh, and Libby's coming on. Libby on the label.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Wendy. And Libby Ann Horton, our dancer,
Libby.
our blue-haired dancer.
I love Libby.
Yeah, she's great. I saw her at the grocery store yesterday. I saw a lot of
Libby?
people at the grocery store yesterday.
That's where you see everybody.
Yeah, and her car matches her hair.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, but the reason why I reached out to Wendy was simply for the fact that she does. I mean, you probably hear this all the time. January is really busy because people are like, I'm back in the gym. I'm getting it done.
Yes.
Is that an accurate situation?
Yes, it is. It is. And now we're toward the end of January where they're slowly starting to fall off maybe. But
right.
We're trying to encourage everybody. You know, the best advice I can give on the whole January thing is to also be working on your mindset, your attitude, what got you to the place that you're in.
Right.
And not just focusing on, the weight loss or whatever the resolution was, but just to make it a lifestyle.
To make it a lifestyle and to make it an important part of your lifestyle too. I'm running.
I know, you said.
And it's horrifying.
Well, running sucks.
It does suck.
I hate running. It's my least favorite activity.
Because I've been volunteered to run a half marathon. But
you were voluntold.
Yeah, I was voluntold. But see, also think too that it's not really... I don't recommend it necessarily. I would, if the world was perfect in time and money, I would be going your route because you have the complete piece, right? You would have the fitness and the nutrition part is such a big part of where we're at with this too.
And just the wellness aspect, and not just working your muscles all the time, but also taking care of your muscles and working on the recovery part.
Yeah.
Stretching, something so simple, is what usually gets left out. So if you're running all the time or you're lifting weights, that's good. But if you're not taking care of the muscles,
you're losing your mobility.
Yeah, it's going to cause injury and long-term and overuse problems. So being on a really well-rounded program, maybe it's getting in the sauna or the massage chairs or seeing a massage therapist or drinking enough water and the nutrition part. People that do all the things have the best results.
Why is it so hard for a lot of us to drink water? Just to drink something, just to put some fluids in our body. Why is it? Coffee, I drink too much coffee, I've decided. But why is it so hard for us too?
Everybody I see carries a cup.
Yeah.
The Stanleys and the Yetis and everybody. And I'm like, I don't know if it's water in there or what's in there, but
it's probably wine.
It's probably not water.
It's probably Tito's or something.
Right.
Yeah. It should be water. If you sip on water all day, you're probably going to get enough. But the recommendation is half your body weight in ounces every day. It's really not that hard.
Right. So I've got a lot of catching up to do as well, and the thing that we talked about previously, last year's show, the real news out of last year's health and wellness show was the importance of mobility. And when I visited you one time, you were working with somebody who had some mobility issues, and they're really working hard to get back to it because. One of the things I think is interesting, and you probably see it more than anybody, is that if you don't do stuff. I've been leading a pretty sedentary life for the last year and a half, well, longer than that, but really the last year and a half has been really bad. That can affect my mobility later on.
Yeah. I say this almost every single day in a conversation. It's so that saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is the most true thing ever.
It is.
I mean, if you're not using it, it's not going to help you.
Right.
You know, you're not doing anything
You're using all those little muscles that help that you
Right.
don't realize you need to do all the big things.
Right.
And I think a lot of people too. You know, the other thing that's important about like a business, like, you know, some people they'll get the sticker shock. Oh my gosh, you know, but the accountability that you offer for folks is important. Like, how do you view that, you know, in your work? I mean, is that one of the most important parts of it?
Probably the most important. I mean, I know that the people that come in that stick with us for a long time, they do that because it's an appointment. They have to be there. We give them a hard time if they don't show up. If they miss an appointment, we reschedule it, so we make sure they get all their sessions in. I mean, that's what we are as trainers, is their accountability partners. And we tough love them when it's necessary, you know, just like a parent would. Like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Accountability is huge. That most people that have results
also not
in
trying
the
to just
gym-
take their money.
Oh, no.
For you, it's just not a check. Like, you're like,
No.
I earn this, and also I know what I'm talking about, and I'm passionate about it.
Yeah, and there's nothing more important to me and all the girls at the gym is when our clients are having results and seeing good things happen and feeling better, and not even just weight loss, which I know is usually the focus, but when they feel better and they have more energy and they're sleeping better at night. You know, when they work out, they're increasing their dopamine and their endorphins, and good things happen.
Yeah.
And weight loss is almost always the byproduct of that, but there's so many good things that happen health-wise along the way.
Right.
People are coming off medications and you know, all kinds of good things.
Their bodies are working better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's furiously angry with me at this point. But you know what, though? Here's the thing, right?
You got to push through that part.
Here's the weird thing, right? I may have had, I went to the doctor last week, and I may have had pneumonia or bronchitis at the end of the year. And I had this residual, you know, cough and wheeze and things like that. And I was taking all this medication and everything like that. But when I actually went out and was running, I actually felt better. And I could sense in my cardiovascular component of it, like, I feel better already. Now, the rest of my body says you're a nut and you're too fat to be running on that concrete trail. But you know, I feel much better, you know, from doing it, though.
I don't your blood pumping.
Yeah, I don't want to do it ever, but, you know, I go and do it. So, I mean, that's the one thing that's interesting, though, too, is that, you know, it you can get it back pretty quickly if you commit yourself to it, too. You know, that's kind of where we're at with that. Now, last time we talked to you, you had the oxygen chamber. How is that working out?
We have two now.
You have two now?
We've expanded that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. I've seen a lot of good things, and I don't like to make any huge claims because I'm not a doctor.
Right.
But I do encourage people to do a little research on it.
Yeah.
If you have long COVID, especially, there's tons of research coming out right now that's incredible. And the interesting thing is I didn't even know that was going to be part of this when I ordered the
long COVID part of it, right?
But yeah, it's helping a lot of people with long COVID.
Because long COVID could be a number of things, but a lot of it's like kind of that it depletes your oxygen. That's the nasty thing about that virus. Do you see when people are coming to you, though, too? I mean, I'm starting to read a lot of stuff about saunas again. You know, like hey, if you spend like 10 minutes in a sauna a day, that's not a bad deal. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, Tony Robbins' latest book that just came out recently.
Yeah. I guess that's who I'm hearing about.
Lifespan,
Right, yeah.
He's the research that he included in that book, and I don't come at me if I don't get this exactly right, but it's infrared sauna at 150 degrees 4 times a week for 30 minutes, lowers all chance of any type of cardiovascular issue by 80-something%.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right.
And you just sit there.
Right.
I mean, it's enjoyable. It's good for your muscles. It's getting the lactic acid out of your muscles.
I guess that's why I go to hot yoga and complain.
But see, look, you don't have to do the stretching and all that other crazy stuff.
I hardly do that anyway.
You can just sit there in a towel and like go, all right, here we go. Yeah,
that's true.
That's statistically, though, that's incredible.
Yeah,
it is.
By 80-something%.
I think I saw that too. The one thing that was interesting about it too, and you know, it's like, look, this is not new. The sweat lodge thing is not new.
Around.
It's been around. Now you need to be careful with it because you don't want to be there too long.
Yes.
And I think
you have to drink water.
You drink water. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to drink
Shocking.
water. Right.
Yeah.
Shocking. So yeah, I mean, there's things to do but it's interesting though that's something that, you know, you kind of take it for granted. You know, like it's an old school, it's been around for a long time. Go to the sauna and you sit there for 30 minutes and then you get out and then you feel refreshed.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest trend coming into 2023 that you're seeing as far as health and wellness and fitness goes?
A lot of things coming out on anti-aging. I guess that's always been there, especially for us women. But there's a big correlation between fitness and nutrition and everything. Well, even the oxygen chamber. It's been proven to change the length of our telomeres, which prevents the wrinkles and the gray hair. And so I just feel like all the health and wellness stuff that it's all being pulled back into anti-aging. And let's stay as young as we can, as long as we can.
Well, I think there's something to be, like I said, I think there's something to be said for, you know, being mobile, being active, you know, doing things that helps extend it. But then you layer in these other elements that you have. So if someone wants to come to you and how would that, okay, so I'm knock on the door, Wendy, I'm not Favor, I'm not the HEB delivery service. I need help. What are you going to say? How does that work for you? How do you set them up to start?
What I really like to do is a consultation with somebody where I just sit down with them and we talk about exactly what their situation is. It's, you know, what's personal to them, what they're looking for, what they need, and then I can explain to them what we offer that will fit into that scenario. And we have personal training packages. We have memberships where people come in and do their own thing. We have group fitness package for people that just want to do the classes. Oxygen chamber is a separate package. So we've kind of tried to do it where we tailor it to whatever the person needs. But the best case scenario is that starts out with a consultation. Just me and them talking. We also have online training now for people that are outside of town.
Right.
I'm doing that with my daughter. It's flaminggracefitness.com. So it's the same with that. We get on the phone with them. We do a consultation. We figure out exactly what their needs are. So we do that for people here in town, but we also do that for people everywhere.
So like it's like a Zoom call then? You're sitting there monitoring them and they're doing like a workout, like maybe some kind of body workout type of thing?
Yeah, so I stayed away from online training for a very long time because I didn't think it was personal training.
Right.
I like personal training. Like if your knee hurts and I'm training you, I want to know
I want to
that.
see it.
Yeah.
I want to see how you're
form.
yeah.
I want to make corrections. I want to be there with you. And when COVID started and all the trainers were pushing their online, I had a bad feeling about it, and I think it gets people injured. And so I stayed away from that for a long time. But my daughter was wanting to get into something she could do online. So I started looking at the software and how that works. And I was very, very impressed with how you can literally personal train someone who lives somewhere else.
Right.
And be very safe about it and communicate with them and,
it's interesting to me though too, like some of these training things, like that's how COVID did change things, is that it kind of opened our eyes up on the pivot, to technology. But again, I think that's still important to have that personal connection with somebody though too.
I think that's ideal for sure.
Let me ask you, your personal fitness journey. We've talked about this a little bit before, but refresh us again. You started this when you were like right out of high school yourself, right? I mean,
the summer before my senior year, I got my first certification.
And did you ever think you would be in the situation where, you've been in this now 25 years or so, and
I'm pushing 30.
Pushing 30 years, and you've continued to do this work, and how have you changed through those 30 years?
Well, just as an industry, the changes. We were just talking about it in the gym the other day about the old Jane Fonda days and how back then we believed in spot reduction. So, if you're laying on your side lifting your leg and you're burning in your hip, we believed back then that you're burning fat right there.
Right.
We know now that that's
not true.
That's not true. So just going back that far, and then all the step aerobic craze, and then the kickboxing phase, and then when spin bikes became a thing, and then yoga became a big thing. So I've been in it long enough that I've seen all the trends.
Right.
And probably cycle back.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about bringing step aerobics back.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. Step aerobics actually, the theory of it actually, everything, the theory of it is actually kind of correct in some way, but maybe not the necessarily like, well, you're going to see this benefit, but just, again, the movement gets into it.
Yeah, I love the choreography of it.
Yeah, right.
And there's some really fun classes.
Oh, my God. A certain song comes on today, and I can still,
do the whole routine.
It's the 32 count phrase.
Yeah. My mom was one of those jazzercise people. She'd go to jazzercise religiously. But the Jane Fonda thing, though, it did get a lot of women up and out and to do stuff too, right? And so,
and nothing about it was incorrect.
Right.
We just know now that that's not exactly, with physiology and technology and anatomy, and we just know more now.
Right.
I feel a lot more helpful to people now than I did back then.
Exactly. And I think that's something too that we continue to grow. I mean, like you're somebody that I've envisioned as being like, you're never satisfied with just, resting on like
status quo.
Yeah, status quo. You're constantly evolving and changing, right?
Yeah. It's a little harder now. For years, I worked for AFA, so I traveled all over the country certifying trainers for many years. So I was in New York, I was in LA, I always knew what was going to come to Texas about 2 years before I got here.
Before it happened, yeah.
So I'm a little bit out of the loop, compared to how I used to.
That's
be.
okay. I think you get to make it your own then.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, trends are great, but I think
Right.
also you get to find this is finding what you like and works for you. And if jazzercise still works for you, that's fine.
Go do it.
Pilates, as far as here in Kerrville, and just for me, as I was aging, like you get to a point where you don't need to do burpees and jumping lunges and sprints all the time.
I hate burpees.
You have to. So for me, it was bringing in the Pilates reformers. Keeping people mobile and stretching and strengthening at the same time.
Right.
I felt like that was what was needed here more than anything else.
I think ultimately, for a lot of people, it just depends on how it fits them.
Yeah.
I mean, like running sucks, but I know how to, like you said, you know how to do it.
But you know how to do it. You have muscle memory from running.
Well, but like I said, I ran to, my running when I was in high school was to dominate other people.
Right. To break people's spirits.
Yeah. To
but
crush them.
You still have the muscle memory for it.
Dalton, how are you?
Regardless of what your motivated you.
Yeah, right.
Just don't forget you need to stretch.
I know. See, that's my weakness. It's like, let's just go.
That's a lot of people's weakness.
That's a weakness. The nutrition part, though, what's going on with that? What are you advocating now?
We do customized meal prep, and that again, ideally, we just sit down with the person. We don't use a menu or anything, but we sit down and have a consultation, talk about what the needs are, what they're trying to do, and then we create their meals for them.
Right.
So it makes it easy. When
a woman comes to you, and this is a body positivity question, and I see this all the time anymore. Like I started playing around with some of those face tuning apps. Like I got the Andrew Gay filter one day, and I looked magnificent. Yeah, like Andrew Gay does, but it's not real. I mean, Andrew's real, but not on my face. Right. And there's people will say, "I want to look like this," right? And the truth of the matter is that
not all bodies are supposed to look like that.
Well, I mean, like the Kardashians are so photoshopped. It's hard.
They're photoshopped. They got great surgeons and they have great nutritionists.
Right. And they don't deliver their own babies anymore either. So, I mean, it's one of those things where they don't have those issues. Do you, when people come to you and say, I want to look like this, do you ever have to tell them like, well, that's probably...
Oh, yeah. Part of my job is to keep it realistic, for sure. Yeah. Right. But I'm glad you brought this up because mindset is such a big part of the whole scenario. And, if you... Let's say you stand in the mirror every day and you look at yourself and it's all negativity coming out of you.
Yeah.
I'm so this, I'm so that, I'm never going to be this.
Right.
All you see is what you're not.
Yeah.
Right. Those people that have that type of mindset, the negativity, aren't really ever going to get anywhere unless they change that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it all starts with mindset. So the last couple of years, I've really been on a mission to encourage people to change the mindset, but figure out where it comes from.
Yeah.
And, we all are wherever we are because of choices that we made, decisions we made. And it's hard to do, but you have to kind of soul search and figure out what were the poor decisions that I made that got me to where I'm unhappy, to where when I'm looking in the mirror, I don't like what I see.
Right.
Or I don't like how I feel, or I can't
or
sleep
how I
at
talk to
night,
myself.
or how you talk to yourself. That's where it all starts. And unless you correct that part, I find myself doing a lot of mindset coaching because unless you correct that, it's going to be hard to get where you want to be.
Right. And that's a big thing too. It's like, I mean, people look at that and they think, oh, they just did it, and when you look at like I think we'd all like to look like Chris Hemsworth,
right?
But like Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans, all the Chris's will tell you. Well, Chris Pratt's the best example because he's kind of he can put on some weight. And he's like, it's so hard. Yeah. Like it's miserable to do those, to be this way. Like it's okay to continue to work out for your own, mental health or you can have a pizza and all that kind of stuff. But don't get ridiculous with it too. Because there is a negative downside to it as well. So, I've known people who that's all they do. They work out. And then, then they have an injury or something along those lines as well. What's been your most satisfying moment in the last couple of years from your work, Wendy?
Probably the mindset part that's kind of come in more recently,
Yeah.
and actually having people really change the way they think,
Right.
and which changes their decision making, which makes them successful. It's like the whole cycle, and then just the way we've set up Fresh and Fit, where you do have the wellness aspect,
Right.
and can not only work your muscles but take care of your muscles too, and your joints, and then eat better, and how everything just kind of cycles in, and it's just fun to watch people go through that journey. For years, it was just they came in the gym and I trained them for an hour and then they left, and then they
Right.
came back the next day, I trained them for an hour and then they left. And that was, I love the industry.
Right.
I love training people still. That's how I like to spend my day. But I just like how now it is more of a lifestyle. It's doing all the things, not just the weight loss, but the anti-aging and the sleeping better at night.
Right.
And all the things that happen. It's a lot more fun to watch someone go through the process that way, as
Right.
opposed to just, burpees and
Right.
mountain
Right.
climbers.
Right.
And,
Right.
What's
it's much more well-rounded now.
Yeah, well, burpees usually have for me, that would be puking,
I hate burpees.
So burpees would be
If I
puking.
want to
them.
make somebody puke,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're like,
it's burpees, and it's the
you're punishing them.
I had a trainer make me puke one time. She felt really bad about it. I said, no, don't feel bad about it at all. I go, that's this. You should be proud of it. You're like, I made that guy puke, because I was so out of shape at the time. I could easily do it now. What's the dream? What's the dream for you as far as this business goes? Like, where do you, if you had everything you wanted, what would you have in your facility?
Well, I'm really happy with the way things are going right now.
Yeah.
I have trainers, excuse me, at Fresh and Fit that are unbelievable. So
Yeah.
it's not just myself anymore. For years and years, it was just me.
Just
and
you, right.
I could only train so many people per day because
Right.
there's only so many hours. So now we have Candace and Carrie and Carly and Christy and my daughter, and it's
Nice.
such a good team, and we're all, encouraging each other and all the clients. So it's just it's like a happy family gym environment, and I just feel like the right people come through the door. We have the best vibe there.
Yeah.
It's just so positive.
You fostered a community.
We have. And so this is the first time in all these years that I felt like I've been able to do that,
Right.
just by having the right people. And of course, I want to see my daughter do well. She's
Yeah.
following in my footsteps.
I love
so
it.
That's cool.
I love it. Yeah. By the way, when I think you guys were out last year at the Frio Headwaters, the Frio Marathon. So that's what
you're training for.
that's what I'm training for. I'm
Okay.
opposed to it, but I'm doing it. So I think it was your daughter that was like corralling Colt, our little friend's son.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell us just real quick. I mean, if I'm on the fence, what's my motivation to come see you? If I'm on the fence, I'm sitting on the fence. What do I need to come see Wendy and her crew? How do I change that?
I think the best thing I could say is just to come in and sit down and chat,
Mm-hmm.
and not feel like you're going to be sold to, and just come in and talk to us and let us see how we can help with the goals, the mindset, whatever is stopping you, and take it from there.
Right.
It's not stressful. It's just like, come in and chat and let's see where you are and how we can help and show you what we have and take it from there. And then just knowing that you have a cheerleader and a fan, and not only that, but a knowledgeable one. All
Right.
of us, we're all certified. We all know what we're doing. So that, you'll be safe and encouraged and motivated, and take it from there. I think it's
Absolutely.
a very personal journey, and we try to meet people right
Where
where
they're
they
at.
are.
All right. Visit them today, Fresh and Fit. They are in that compound, it's in Kerrville. It's in the neutral zone. The neutral
Purgatory.
zone. Purgatory.
Yeah.
It's where you
Between
don't know
Kerrville-
where you're out of Kerrville and in Ingram, or
Right.
vice versa.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a little bit hard to find.
It's West Kerr.
Across
Actually-
from Jellystone.
Yeah.
Right. It's actually where all the great Christmas lights are at. Is that area?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That kind
100%.
of that neutral zone area. And what is the address again?
It's 124 Blue Ridge West, number 206. You just turn in by the big fireworks place, Mr. W's Fireworks,
Yep.
then take the immediate left into that commercial
Right.
park by the welding supply.
And you can
And
take
we're
a
in there.
really great nap in there. Sign up today. Get there and get the oxygen treatment. Just pass out.
It's the best nap ever.
It is.
I try to do it every day.
Oh my gosh, so good, so good. All right, thank you for being here, Wendy. We
Thanks for
appreciate it
having
very
me.
much.
Thank you, Wendy.
You're always
Always
welcome.
fun.
It's always fun to have you on and talk
Thank
about
you.
stuff. All right, we're going to throw you out now, and we're going to bring Gilbert and Andrew on. Thank you, Wendy, for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good day, too.
You too.
All right. Gilbert and Andrew, time for the text. Talking about health and wellness. So,
time to talk finances.
Time to talk finances.
I know, and I could have kept listening to you talk about, because